I think most importantly here is that one, it doesn't have to take a lot of time, right? So to change the institutional's overall research portfolio and how much it's being used, right, or not by different key external audiences, that will take time, right? But strategic kind of communication efforts can get the science out there faster, and these sort of behavior change efforts where we're actually thinking about how we build the capacity of, for instance, our faculty to be able to engage directly with policy communities, that can be done. And we're not talking decades here, right? We're talking, months and years in many cases, and so it might not work within a, getting it by Q2, but certainly by let's talk next year. We, for instance, just wrapped up a experiment that we did here at Penn State where we provided a waitlist design where we provided additional support to both our kind of initial wave one and wave two participants in that waitlist, but the wave two, of course, got it a little bit later. We provided key technical assistance as well as award support around how they engage with external community partners. And we were able to evaluate over the course of that year outcomes, right? It did not necessarily take a epoch to be able to make these assessments. Similarly, we've done work where we've done randomizations of, as I mentioned, researchers. We've also randomized external audiences, like we have a behavioral intervention for policymakers to enhance their use of research. We've done a randomized control trial using that model, for instance, of members of Congress. We did an experimental trial of over 90 members of Congress, provided half of them the supports around connecting them with researchers, and how to work with those researchers. And we saw not only changes in those congressional offices' culture around the value of scientific evidence, but how they actually use that scientific evidence in the bills that were being introduced to Congress. And I think that and that happened over a 2-year time period. That was not, a decade-long project. That was something that was able to happen in about 24 months. And I think that that's really key, is that when we overlay good data with high quality of study evaluations that actually let us study that science of scientific impact, we can do so much.